on senior trip, we went to downtown Disney for the first night. And we all just sort of went in our own little groups. So all the girls went off, and then the guys separated into, like, I think 3 different groups. And Riley's group just ended up in this little center of just open area. And this guy was apparently playing with a lightsaber. And if you know Riley, if you know him, he really likes anything combatic. He likes ninjas and Star Wars would be the 2 things he probably is the most interested in.
So finally, Riley goes over there, and we're too far to actually hear his words, but he's just like, they're like, okay, and then they continue fighting for like another 2 minutes. But then after that, they split the lightsaber, they give one to him, and it's red, I believe.
And he like does this thing where he like flips it and he does behind the back, and then they're fighting. And like, I honestly think the guys were scared. I would be scared of Riley too.
He literally went like this. And they had a little sword fight in the street, and security had to come and separate them. Yeah. What a meme. Yeah.
My favorite meal in the cafeteria would have to be mozzarella sticks, because every time they serve them, I eat too much.
My first meal in the cafeteria is French fries.
The favorite thing in the cafeteria was Mrs. Antoine's brownies, the homemade brownies back in elementary school. Mrs. Antoine's ravioli. Man, do I miss that lady and her good old ravioli.
My favorite meal at the cafeteria is their mac and cheese, but 2 years ago, mac and cheese was better when we followed Obama's rules.
I will say the drumsticks are like the best, because I mean they just taste good. Like anything else is just too long.
My favorite meal in the cafeteria had to have been the Big Daddy pepperoni pizza on every Friday.
My favorite meal in the cafeteria would have to be probably the Big Daddy whole grain pizza.
Having some form of bread and cheese for lunch every single day.
I don't really eat meals in the cafeteria, so I'm not sure if I can have an answer to this question.
I don't have a favorite meal in the cafeteria.
Baby carrots.
Well, we kind of got in this TP war with Pender and the Gallaghers, kind of. And so Pender was like telling Jake that he was going to bring the Gallaghers over sometime when we were all sleeping, and they were going to TP us.
Multiple times people have TP'd Pender's house, and I have never been part of any of those, but Pender's accused me of each one.
So it was me, Steven, Joseph Eason, and Jake Single was with us that night. Finally, he came out of his house, and then we went over at Pender's house, and we're like, well, Joseph, he doesn't even know you're with us, so how about you just stay here with the toilet paper, and we'll go inside and talk to him. So we all went inside. Joseph stayed in the car with the toilet paper. We were just talking to Penn. I think he had the Gallaghers over as well, so it was kind of noisy in there.
Well, Joseph stayed in the car for like an extra 2 minutes after we went inside, and he TP'd him pretty good. He had no idea who it was or anything.
He was pretty excited. He was pretty happy about it, that he got to be the one to, do all the damage while we went inside. And even if he figured out it was us, he wouldn't even be in the equation because nobody even knew he was there. He's carefree.
So Pender got really, really mad that time, and I heard him talking to, I think it was Jake.
He told us at school, he said, Jake, I'm going to come TP your house. You're not going to see me coming. It's going to be late in the night. You're going to be asleep. And I said, Pender, bet. We're going to be awake. I'm going to be ready for you.
But eventually, not too long, like a week later probably, he got me and he got Jake Single really bad. And that's when we kind of confessed that it was us, because he might as well, because he already got our houses. So that's basically it.
Yeah, I don't think I did anything wrong at LCS. Yeah.
I don't do anything bad that I know of.
I got away with taking 3 cookies instead of 2.
Biggest thing I got away with? that's a hard one.
Well, I didn't get away with it per se. I almost got away with going to Wendy's off campus with Erica Wilson.
I went to Wendy's, but like, I don't think I got away with that. They called me pretty quick. I was out of the building for 5 minutes and they already called me, so.
Not much, because I felt really bad. One time I ate pretzels in class, and then I felt bad. So I asked my teacher if it was okay, and she said it was.
got away with it. I'm not saying that on camera. I didn't put away weights after workout in Miss Smith's class. So, sorry Miss Smith.
The hair rule when I was younger, I had flowing locks, and so they always told me to cut my hair, but I always tried to stretch out for a few more weeks.
Okay, the biggest thing I got away with at LCS was in 1st grade, I was sick and I wanted to go out to my locker to get medicine, but instead I was just eating candy.
I don't know that. There are a lot of things.
I haven't parked in the senior lot since 2016.
The biggest thing you got away with at LCS? Biggest thing I've gotten away with, it's not past tense, it's present. It's this. I've gotten away for like 4 months with this.
I found a version of a way you can play Mario Kart that like adds a layer of like depth to it, where we had to alter it since we're not 21, but it's like basically you have like a drink. We just use like cans of Mountain Dew, Coke, highly carbonated stuff that's probably going to give you heart disease at a very young age.
When Drake proposed the idea of having to drink a can of Mountain Dew before you can finish a game of Mario Kart, I immediately knew I wasn't going to be part of that. It's like, I don't drink pop in general. And they even said, you know, we can let you have a water bottle, you know, just to get involved. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. This is a little off the edge for me.
So we took just cans of Mountain Dew. And the premise is, when you start a race, you have a drink with you, like just like a can of Mountain Dew or something. And you have to finish your can before you can cross the finish line. And if you do cross the finish line without it, then it's just invalidated. But you can't drink while driving at the same time. So you have to, like, in Mario Kart, stop, like, pull over, take your can, like, drink, hope no one, like, runs into you or, like, hits you with, like, a shell or something, and then furiously, like, try to, like, catch up to everyone.
But I was totally for watching everyone else do this because I know at 1 a.m., everyone makes poor decisions, and to add carbonated drinks in the mix will only make it funnier for myself.
We all had different strategies. So at first, we were like, okay, this is kind of funny because, you know, we're chugging a bunch of, like, carbonated drinks. By, like, the 4th or 5th race, we're sitting there. I can remember it was me and Brandon. Landon and Peyton were on the couch behind us. Brandon and I were sitting on the floor, like, almost, like, hunched over. We're like, oh, my stomach hurts so badly, and I still have a race to finish. And we're going, and because we had, like, 4 or 5 cans, and it's just too much. But, like, we're still driving, and we're like, okay, gotta... okay, go. And it was not a good time. And by the end of it, because Mario Kart ruins friendships and it gets heated.
And Brandon's trash talking everyone as he goes. He even gets to the point where when he's drinking something, he's just mumbling under his breath. Threats and different trash talks at the same time. And when he gets back onto the track, you can't help but think, okay, this guy needs sleep, he's carbonated, and he's coming for me. I need to do something to get at him.
There's a term we like to throw around in the nerd group called 3 a.m. Brandon, which it's the final form. It's the pinnacle of all Brandon. That is when he is at his top form because everything makes him laugh, anything makes him mad, and he can just fluctuate between the two with there's just no warning. So you'll be playing Mario Kart, chugging soda, and he'll be in first, so he stops and he's drinking, and then, you know, you throw a red shell at him and you pass him, and he slams, like, his can down. He's like, he burps violently, and he's like, no, and he's like, get back here, and he's like, and then he says like ridiculous things like, I will kill your family, and you're like, whoa, Brandon, it's just a game, and he's like, I don't care, I need to win, and he gets very heated, but then, he crosses the finish line, and he wins, and he's so happy with himself that he wins, he can't even like trash talk you for losing, because he's laughing at himself, he's just so proud. But it goes from 0 to 100. His laugh basically goes from to and that's Brandon's laugh. It goes like from that, and there is no in between. It goes and that's how his laugh goes. By the end of the night, we sat down. We like took our cans and like put them wherever, and we like just sat there kind of bloated, not wanting to drink soda ever again. And then we just went, let's not do this again, ever again.
I never ate food in the cafeteria. I only ever ate my own lunch.
My favorite meal in the cafeteria is nothing because I like bringing my lunch.
I don't get food from the cafeteria, but I have like 2 sandwiches every day, and it's pretty nice.
What was my favorite meal in the cafeteria? I've actually never had a cafeteria meal before. I don't know how to order one.
My favorite meal at just meal at the cafeteria. I'm very passionate about food.
Big Daddy pizza. My favorite meal was probably Big Daddy pizza.
Good old Big Daddy pizza.
Favorite meal in the cafeteria has got to be the whole grain Big Daddy pizza. That's just a staple of the cafeteria lunches.
I would have to say Big Daddy whole grain pizza, yeah. That's where it's at.
So I've never gotten food from the cafeteria. I've always packed lunch. So, but I've heard Big Daddy whole grain pizza is pretty good.
Every single day, typically before bell work, but sometimes Mr. Kenny forgets, he will have this thing we call Boon or Bane. I don't know. It's like a bell work. So he clicks this button and anything can pop up. Either one person gets to skip bell work, like a whole team has to stay in their chairs the whole time. A whole team has to wear protective gear like goggles and a lab coat, and the list goes on. So one day he decided to have us create our own bell works, and so a lot of us took that to advantage, and Jake Single made the one that happened to end up on this day.
Basically, the whole floor is lava, and you can't touch the floor. So, like, you had to sit like this. And so Mr. Kenny, being the guy who he is, he's really nice. He allows us to set down paper that acts as like rocks.
And I was surprised Mr. Kenny even allowed that, because the dangers of hopping from table to table are very great, especially since this is not a soft floor that was underneath us. So Kiara and I decided to make our way to a bin, and we tossed our papers in, and we were both standing on this table. 2 tables, actually. I was on one, she was on the other, and she was going to jump from a table to a chair. I have no idea why she decided to do that. She went to the ledge of the table, and I could see the table tipping. It went in straight slow motion. All of a sudden, it just kept going, and I could just see the fear in her eyes.
I don't know why I jumped. I just like to jump. So I jumped from one end to the other, and it just tips. And I jumped quickly to a chair, because if you step on lava, you get minus 25 HP. And if you get to 0 HP, then you're dead and you have to spin the wheel, and you could possibly get a level 2. And I've never gotten a level 2, so I was so scared. So I jumped to the chair starts tipping. And I jump into the lava.
Which, to her demise, I don't know how to say this, which to her, like, she was very sad to find out Mr. Kenny did not care that she almost lost her life.
So during the middle of this, we're all standing on tables. Joel and Jake are both laying on a table. And all of a sudden, the door opens, and in walks Dr. Holgeveen.
He walked in and saw the chairs scattered everywhere, pieces of paper thrown all over the floor. And Mr. Kenny just looked at him and said, "The floor is lava. The floor is lava." And then he left, saying a really good pun, but I don't remember what he said. And Mr. Kenny just looked at all of us, almost in embarrassment, but I could see that he was very proud of what he was about to say next. And he said, "It's not like he's going to fire me."
Good. All right.
Did you like fake me?
And you're really focused.
Yes, I know.
So-
because she's going so fast.
Yes.
There are so many words.
So try to.
And I jump quickly to a chair because if you step on lava, you get minus 25 HP. And if you get to 0 HP, then you're dead and you have to spin the wheel and you could possibly get a level 2. And I've never gotten a level 2, so I was so scared.
Yes, I'd like to see that level 2 written out. Kiara lost.
Kiara fell in the lava.
She lost 25 HP. That is inexcusable.
I'm 25 HP. That's so much. Every time the camera moves in, I'm picturing it finished.
Ready? Listen, before I became a teacher, I wanted to be a news reporter, so I'm good.
All right.
I hope somebody to end my career at Cedar Point, let's be honest. I would be the announcer on the gym side. Okay.